apologize. I did not catch it fast enough. One of the things that my phone will do, is that we'll cut off after like a half an hour or so of filming. But sorry about that. That will also be fixed in the future. But this is where it starts getting on top of the beaters. So I think I might have to just, I might have to switch and start using a wooden spoon, at least until it's dry enough to turn it out on the counter and knead it by hand. But this is what we have going right now, all on top of the beaters. I'd never seen this happen before until I made the tuxedo cookies. I didn't record those. And then again when I made the white cookies, and that's when I was like, okay, stand mixer is Hamilton and I, we've been through a lot. He's done very well, but there are just some things that are too big for him. Okay, so just had to clean off the hand mixer and take over doing this by way of, the moment I'm using my spatula, I might have to change over and do this a different way, but it still is not like pulling away from the sides like it's supposed to, and it's not really forming like a ball yet. Like I'm forcing it into a ball, and it's not being a ball. So it's still really sticky, and like is gonna need more flour. I'm gonna continue to try to use Hamilton just so that I don't have to just totally murder my arm doing this, because as rough as kneading it is, stirring it, because right now it's really not, it's not to the point where I can turn it out, because it's just gonna stick everywhere, and that's gonna be a factor anyway. So you're gonna, like, I'll flour the surface and everything, but it would just be all over the place, and I do not want this to be all over the place. I feel like this is the channel that you watch to make you feel better about yourself. You know, it's like, I love to bake. I do it all the time now. Everything from cinnamon rolls to donuts, to, which I haven't actually done yet, but I will be doing soon, to cookies and cake. I do lots of different things, and I've been at this for a little bit now, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy sharing it with people, and I think it turns out pretty okay. Alex seems to like it, so it's not just me, but like it can be a trial and error process. There's always gonna be a learning process, which I kind of find it kind of ironic that, it's like the whole thing is that baking is so, like, you have to be so precise in your baking measurements, and like you can't just eyeball. Dang, I was doing so well. You can't just eyeball things, but then with this recipe, it's literally like, yeah, it's just gonna depend on the day, on the weather, on temperature of your kitchen, like, all these different things that could play a factor. And it's like, well, I feel lied to, because you told me it was supposed to be precise. This isn't precise. This is winging it, like 100% winging it. So, but it's just the way of the world, I guess. We are almost out of flour in the canister. That's okay, because we still have flour in the fridge. I tell you what, though, I go through a whole lot more flour and sugar than I ever have before. And I think what's funny is I think that part of the reason that I got these canisters is because I was like, oh, I don't cook that much. I don't eat that much. Here we are, 2020, just the year of the weird, Everything that used to be like what we would do is just totally thrown to the wind at this point. Okay, Hamilton, I believe in you. You can do this. We can do this together. Here we go. Okay, Hamilton it's official. He has reached his max usefulness. You have served me well, sir, but I'm going to put you to rest for the time being. He will make a reappearance whenever we do the glaze, but that's not for a while yet. but I think we're just gonna have to completely switch over to the hand stirring method, because like as you can see, it's still not falling off at all. Like it's really sticky, and it's just yeah. So we still got a ways to go on this, and so that means a lot of by hand mixing for me, which is fine. It's just the way of things. I knew what I was getting myself into. Get off. That's how sticky it is. It won't come off the spatula. But yeah, so that's gonna be what I will be doing. I know you all don't want to watch me stir into oblivion, and I know that I will probably not be very entertaining, because I'm probably going to be concentrating really hard. I think I just need to, you know what, I've already admitted defeat. I should just take the beaters out, but here we are, and I'm still going. Okay, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and y'all will not have to sit there and listen to me not be conversational. I'm about to get dough all over my hands. Yeah, it's just like, it was in there for about probably 30 seconds before it just like went straight up to the top. Got all over everything, the whole bit. So, man, that's sticky. So yeah, we're just gonna have to adjust our plan of attack a little bit. Okay, so I just added some more flour in here, and I just had a thought, and I want to ask you guys. I'm moving in a few months, as I have already informed you, and I'm going to be taking my canisters with me. Should I empty out my canisters before? I feel like I should empty out my canisters before I move, partially because I just don't know how long, like, they're going to be just sitting there. I don't want them to just be like I don't want like my sugar, there's something is definitely bound to get in them. I mean, they're only so sealed, I think this is actually getting to close to where we want it to be. I have lost count. Oh, I have an alarm going off. I think I'm at either around 3 cups or around 3.5 cups. I just don't know which one it is, but I think we're starting to get there. It's being a ball. Like, I'm still, obviously, I'm kneading it with this. That's the nice thing about the using the silicone spatula and just the texture of it. It's a little closer to like human feel than like the like a wooden spoon would be. We're getting there, slowly but surely. It's being a ball. It's not sticking so badly to the bowl as I like turn it around, because before I was like, I would scoop it, but then it would still just be like splatted everywhere. It's like, I'm only doing this because you want me to, and you could still tell that it was not behaving. So this is where I think my yeast lessons from my friend Michelle are going to come in handy. It's kind of just by a feel thing, which I hate. Like, I cannot possibly explain to you how much I hate. I think I've told the story before, but like when I was right before I moved down here, I learned to cook like a lot of different recipes, a lot of just like simple like household staples that I had grown up with and such things. And I asked my mom one day, I was like, okay, Mom, how much of like so and so do I put in there? She was like, okay, you ready for this? It's really scientific. She took it and she went, eh, and I was like, that's literally the worst instruction I've ever gotten. Like, I hate when it's just like, oh yeah, you just kind of know, like you just kind of feel it, you just kind of see. Like, no, just give me like a temperature, a weight, a time. Like, give me something. Like, I hate just being like, oh, you just kind of feel it. But that's what my friend Michelle told me, is like, you just kind of learn to feel what the dough feels like, and she let me feel it and stuff like that. And so she's like, when it's getting sticky and it's like it's trying to stick, like there's a portion that's like sticking too much to the counter, just add a little more flour that way. And that's how we were making bread. We weren't making cinnamon rolls, but it was, it's a similar type thing. And then I do have to put this into a greased stainless steel bowl, which is definitely not prepped, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be prepped. But I think we need a little Well, maybe not, actually. A little more flour, but we're getting there. It's starting to fall. So this is exciting. I'm also gonna go take my medicine since my lung well. Okay, I believe that we are to the point where I'm gonna have to, whether I want to or not, I'm gonna have to turn this out. So, just don't like it. Over there. I put another, like, about a quarter cup of flour in there. Should have gotten Hamilton out of the way. And we got some flour on the counter here, so don't have to worry about that. And then we're just gonna take this guy and do the kneading. I think of this every time I hear anytime that I hear "You're the One That I Want" from Grease, or I hear like the term kneading, I think of this. My sister's the baker of really the entire family, but of the two of us, she is definitely the baker. This is very recent that I have told y'all that I've started doing something like this. And she was making gingerbread men for a potluck maybe at school. I'm not 100% sure if it was a potluck or just because she felt like it, or because it was Christmas time, or if they were gifts. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she enjoyed making gingerbread men, so that was a thing that she would do. And this is terrifying. And she was listening to "You're the One That I Want" from Grease, and instead of doing "ooh ooh ooh honey," she started adding in the ingredients for gingerbread. So I think honey might actually be in there, but she was like, molasses is the one that I remember the most. And then she was just like, "You're the one I need," which I always thought was super gross. But I think that's just because she has long fingernails, so it made me think of a witch. Not that I think you're a witch, Nay. Just not saying that. But okay, I need to check in on my recipe, so I'm gonna pause this real quick. Y'all know what I did not look for today when I was at the grocery store, and I told myself I needed to look for, but I forgot. Rolling pin. Dadgummit. I need a rolling pin. I don't have a rolling pin, and that means that if you were around for this is a very unconventional way to knead your dough. I'm just rolling it around to get the excess flour that is just kind of scooted around my counter. My counter's clean. Don't worry. Other than any spare bits of yeast that hopefully are not lying around, but they could be. You never really know. I don't remember what I was talking. Rolling pin. If y'all were around, I did not make a video of this, but if y'all were around for the sugar cookie cake that I made, which was so fun, by the way. I really enjoyed that one. Super easy recipe, and just a good time. Like, I just liked making it. Like, it was fun. It was also kind of stressful, because it was a shaped cookie. So I made it into an S. The test run was an S for us, for our last name, and then the second one was an L for my family's, or the family that I was making it for their last name. Most of them anyway. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, that was tough, but I had to roll out the dough for that, and I used a plastic cup, because I do not have a rolling pin. I don't really know why. Like, again, I haven't really baked a whole lot up until this point. Like, this is the first time in my life that I've really just been like, dude, I'm gonna bake. But at the same time, like I was saying earlier, my face is really itchy and I can't scratch it. I was not saying that earlier. I was saying earlier that, like, we always used to do breakfast, lunch. So, like, I was fully in. That was just way. Oh, you're getting like a front row seat to my sink over there. This is way more flour than I was intending to get on here. Sure, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. I think this actually could stand to have a little bit more flour in it. It's just to the point where I'm having to hand knead it then, and not use the mixer. Hamilton's still sitting right here watching me work, being moral support. Thank you. Appreciate you. But like I fully intended to be, you know, making, you know, our biscuit recipes, making biscuits, making waffles and pancakes. I don't know if you ever made biscuits, but you roll them out. That's what you do. So I was just, when I first got here and we were actually making biscuits more often, I just made drop biscuits. But I like the biscuits that are not droppy. I like to make biscuits that are cut out, and then, you know, there's always a cloudy biscuit from the dough that's left over. This is so terrifying. I am like horribly scared right now. It's just. It's like, it's still sticky, and it's not supposed to be. So I'm still adding some flour, but I'm just so scared that I'm gonna add too much flour. But yeah, so I just never ended up getting a rolling pin because I guess we stopped doing biscuits as much, and started, like, if we do breakfast, we usually do pancakes. We don't have a waffle iron, so that's part of the reason why we don't do waffles. But we both really like pancakes. Apparently, if you watch Alex's channel, which I am featured on fairly regularly, it's mainly a gaming channel, but if you like listening to me ramble, you should definitely go check it out because we are a lot of fun. Just, I think we're funny. We're just absolutely insane. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not ruining you. But if you think I'm entertaining, then you should definitely go check both of us out because together we are just, you know, fantastic. But anyway, apparently the reason I started saying that is because apparently Alex is now more team waffle than he used to be, which was news to me. But yeah, so we both really like pancakes. We're cool with doing pancakes. So we just do pancakes. So I just never got a rolling pin, and I need one. Like, it just, you know, I feel like it's one of those things that you don't necessarily use it very often, but there's just not a great sub for it, you know, like, it's just, if you need a rolling pin, you need a rolling pin, and a floured cup works, but, like, it's not ideal, and it's not great, and I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. But I'm trying to do like Babish says, if you know, you know. I've said that twice this video and I'm not feeling it. If you know, you know is one of those hashtags that I did not understand. I did not know for a very long time, but I finally was like, Alex, what does this mean? I don't know what it means. And he came over and he was like, I was like, what is YK mean? I had to think about that way too long. And he was like, and we both sat there for a minute, and then, like, at the same time we were like, if you know, you know. And I was like, yay, I got there and I didn't have to be told. But apparently it was not one that he was familiar with. But yeah, I will not be adding if you know, you know hashtags everywhere, don't worry. No hashtags in these videos, even though, like, I'm supposed to. So the reason that these videos are now up on my YouTube channel, I had considered doing this for a while. I had thought about making this a YouTube thing and not just like something that I shared with my family. But the reason that it went up on my YouTube on YouTube was because I was putting these on my drive, my Google Drive, and I ran out of space. And your girl's not about to buy space, so I just put them up on YouTube instead. And like, I only told, like, the people that had been watching them. So, like, my best friend, my mom, and my sister. I was like, hey, I had to put these on my YouTube channel now, so that's where they are. This is my name. Here's the link. If you want to go look at them, they're public. And I told Alex, I was like, hey, I've now had to start putting this on my YouTube channel. He proceeds to then be like, hey, all my friends that are here playing this game with me online that I'm talking to, Riley has a YouTube channel now. Go check it out. If you were one of the very, very, very early viewers, you might have gotten on there before I made it private, but as soon as I figured out that people were starting to watch it, I made it private. I only had on there The videos, I hadn't even gotten them all up yet when this happened, but like I had the videos for my what was that? Oh, y'all, what did I make? It wasn't the cinnamon spice cake or the pumpkin spice cake. What was it? Oh, the cookies. It was the cowboy cookies, which is probably my least favorite of any of my kitchen catastrophes that I've ever made up until this point, including the ones that were not fully filmed. And I'm not testing this at all. I hope that I can't like over knead this. I think it's, as far as like ball, it's fine. You know, it's okay. It's nice and folded up in here. I'm supposed to do the window pane test now, but I'm not sure. I'm sure it's gonna need more. Yeah. I can't actually do the window pane test because, oh yeah, that's it's not even stretching yet. I'm not entirely sure this doesn't need more flour either, which is just terrifying. Let's see. It's not sticking to me, so I don't think it needs more flour, but it does need more kneading. I'm so paranoid. No, I think it is good as far as the flour is concerned, but we are going to need it some more. What are they talking about? Oh, when I put the cowboy cookies up there, I hadn't uploaded them all yet. I'm still working on it. I actually ended up, I'm apologizing for those who don't know, who aren't like my personal friends and family, who got this information firsthand, but the reason that the beginning of the cowboy cookies video seems so abrupt is because I had another intro video leading into it, and I put it up on my drive, and I deleted it from my phone before realizing that everything was not going to fit on my drive, and when I tried to get it back, it did not download correctly, and so it's no longer, like, it's not in a format that I can watch it, it's not in a format that I can put it on YouTube, so I'm really sorry about that, but I just lost that piece. But anyway, I was in the process of uploading everything onto my YouTube, and lo and behold, I hear Alex talking to his friend like, yeah, she's really good at Spanish, obviously. She had to, that was her degree, so she's got to be better than you, or something along those lines. I'm not just excellent at Spanish, but it is my degree. And I was like, why is he talking about my Spanish? Back in my freshman year of college, so 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. Right? Is that right? 2017. So yeah, over more than 3 years ago. So it was my second semester of freshman year. It was one of the last projects that I did. But I had to do, it was a commands project. We're working on conjugating commands and using them effectively. And we had to make a 3-minute video that was just using like a certain number of commands. So but the easiest thing to do is a recipe. So I made brownies. One of my friends, we went to her house. She was a local in Birmingham, and so we just went to her house, which was like 20 minutes away from school, so that we could use the kitchen and not have to worry about it. And so she filmed, and I made these brownies. So the video is completely in Spanish. It's super choppy because I kept cutting it. She kept pausing it and cutting it and everything, so that I didn't have to remember like huge chunks of Spanish at the time. Like, this is freshman year. I was not at all confident in my speaking ability. I didn't get to that point until I took a phonetics and pronunciation class my junior year. Yeah, first semester of my junior year. So like my whole first year here, first 2 years of college, was not at all confident in my speaking ability. Conversation was torment for me, just really difficult, and I hated talking. I was scared that I was going to get everything wrong, and so I just, like, it's super, super choppy, it's super bad, like, it's awkward and weird, and I just hated it. But I had to have it public on there because my professor was like, look, I've done this a million different ways, and one of the things that happens is, like, if we put it like in a certain format, like you can't see it, or like it won't share properly or whatever. So what you have to do is you have to upload the video to YouTube, and there's no way this is ready. We're getting a little better though. Not bad. But she was like, you need to upload it to YouTube. You need to send me the link. You need to name it a certain thing. Send me the link. Make sure that it's public. So I sent her the link. Made sure it was public, and I never had any reason to try to take it off public because I know who's on my channel. And even like I had a channel, you know, it's just I had like a channel just because like you have to have a channel, like if you want to like things or save playlists or whatever, like all those different things, you have to have like a channel. But it's mainly just like an account, and it's not even really a channel, but you can upload stuff. I just hadn't, because why would I? And 3 years later I hadn't uploaded anything else because why would I? Nobody's on my channel. But then Alex's friend went and decided he was gonna watch this Spanish project video, and I was like, dude, get off that video. So I immediately went and changed it to private. While I was looking at it, I realized I had 5 views. I've only watched it once since I made that video and posted it. I rewatched it a couple of years after I made it, and was, I don't even know if I got all the way through it because it was just so painfully awkward. And you know, it's one of those things where you look back at stuff, even if you think it was really good at the time, you're probably going to look back at stuff from a few years prior and just be like, man, this is garbage. When you thought it was bad at the time, you know, it's not much better. I keep forming this into a ball like it's just ready to go, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, so all that to be said, I was going somewhere completely different with this. This is called the window pane test. I don't have a window to test it on right now, but I think we're getting there. This is exciting. It's really, we're getting close for sure. It's taking a minute to stretch before it breaks, which is a good sign. I don't think I overfloured it, which is also a good sign. This is so fun, actually, to work with, because once it gets to the point where it's not super sticky, it's actually a lot of fun to mess with. What was I talking about? Why did I get on this tangent about... Oh, I just realized that I'm about to run out of time again. Dang, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to pause it. See if I can remember why the heck I was talking about this being on the YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm sorry. I just totally lost that train of thought. Okay, we're getting close on the meeting. We're getting very close to the light bar testing, since I can't do a window pane. I'm gonna do a couple more minutes just because I don't want it to be underdone. I don't want it to be crumbly, such things. I thought it was kind of funny. I was on my way to the store and listening to this recipe and just, you know, kind of getting familiarized with it because I haven't watched this video a time. And I thought it was funny because I just said in my last video, I was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna switch to using gluten-free dough, or gluten-free flour, and then it was like, okay, so we have to form gluten, and I was like, So I didn't do this recipe with my gluten-free flour. I did this with my just regular AP flour, which I did just buy a whole thing of a week or two ago. So like I'm plenty well stocked up on that. I'm gonna have to ask around and see, like, okay, so it's measure for measure flour, but is it gonna behave the way that you want it to, and do the things that you need to do if you're baking something like this, where, you know, like if you're making a bread of some description, like how do you account for that? Because honestly, I have no idea. So we'll have to see what happens with this, and if this is just one of those things that I'm never going to be able to make gluten free. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, so we got our little wad. I I just don't know, you know? I just don't really know. So make a wad, make a square-ish, and then go like this. I think it's good. Because I don't wanna over knead it, because I feel like that's gonna make it tough. I just don't know, you know? Like it feels good and it looks like about the right size, so like I feel like it's okay. This may just be one of those things that it just doesn't turn out right on the first try. And I'm just gonna have to be okay with that. I don't like that because I don't want it to be gross, because I want to eat these and enjoy them and, you know, everything to be fine. But it may just be one of them things, you know, as Alex likes to say. So no matter how often I test this, like I'm probably just going to continue second guessing myself. I can get it pretty far, I think. I'm sorry. I think I need to stop this video though.